What's up, everybody? We got legendary King T in the house. What's up, King T?
Welcome. You know what I'm saying? Liquid's in the house.
All right, man. Well, man, I super appreciate you coming out here and spending some time with us today. I know, like you're a busy guy, and
oh man,
and no, we really appreciate it, man.
No doubt.
Really do.
Let's do it.
So, man, I want to get into just, start from the beginning. We got the legendary King T, and I kind of want to go through the evolution of King T. So,
okay.
How'd you get into, hip hop? How did Compton come into play? And then when did you meet DJ Pooh? All that stuff.
It's crazy because I've always been a music head. Like, I loved music. My mother bought me records. My aunties bought me records. I remember them buying me Ohio Player records and crazy stuff like that. And I was just into music. I didn't know how to play an instrument, but she even tried to get me piano playing lessons and all that, but I never stuck to it. She said I played by ear and all that type of stuff, but I just always been into music. They knew I was gonna be into music, so I didn't want to go to school, all that, it's the same old story, you know what I'm saying? School was boring, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to do music. I ended up my mother moved to Houston when I was young, and I went out there with her, got into a lot of trouble because I didn't want to go to school. Ended up running, we lived in Third Ward, Texas.
Okay.
Third Ward, Houston, Texas.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I used to skip school a lot and go up to the college, KTSU. It was Texas Southern University. And they would, at Saturday nights, it was always a mix going on. And I was too young to go out at night, but on Saturday morning, they had this little show called Kids Jam. So I used to sneak up there on Saturday morning. My little neighbors and the kids around the neighborhood showed me how to get up to we always, we ended up there. I don't know how, we just ended up there at the station. And I ran into the program director. Her name was Pamela Collins. I remember her name. She was, you know what I'm saying? I was telling her, I think I was 13, 14 years old. I said, yo, I'm from LA. And I had cassettes of K-Day, Mix Masters, Joe Cooley and Bobcat and all the mixing. And I used to tell her it was me. And she said, boy, that ain't you. But I said, I'll show you on the turntable. And when she let me get down, I showed her.
Yeah.
I sounded just like them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she ended up giving me a shot on the Kids Jam show that was like on Saturday morning with Lester Surpace and Jazzy Red from Houston, Texas. And it took off from there. But I was young, and my mom wasn't trying to hear that. She was like, you go to school, or you know what I'm saying? I was doing some other messed up shit. And ended up in a what was it? Harris County Youth Village out there for like a year. You know what I'm saying? And my mom moved back to LA while I was still in there. It was crazy. They used to take me to get my dentist appointments and all that type of shit. I used to run, but they'll hear me on the radio.
Yeah.
The kids in the youth village will hear me on the radio that Saturday, and they'll come get me. It was crazy.
Oh,
and
wow.
people wouldn't believe it. People ain't gonna believe that. So they ended up, the last time I ran away. They called my grandma out here that was living on 48th and Crenshaw and said, we got to send your grandson home. Ain't nobody out here coming to see him. And she sent for me. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up coming back, staying with her. But ended up back in the valley with my grandparents. my grandparents was always from Pacoima. You know, that's why I used to go out there every Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all that type of. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was. That's where I was from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, I ended up. My mom didn't want me. My dad didn't want me to stay there. I was messing up. I didn't want to go to school. I got kicked out of every school in the LA district. For real, like, wow. Kicked out of Carver, kicked out of John Muir, and I had to go to Monroe and Inglewood, which I graduated to Morningside in Inglewood. Oh, they ran me up out of there.
That's a quite, like, colorful school there.
Right. So I ended up back in the Valley at my grandmother's and going to San Fernando High. Yeah. I couldn't. They was running me out of there too.
I gotta ask you this: Was Big Y one of the guys running you out of Morningside?
He might have been running them niggas. You know what I'm saying?
I'm kidding.
But no. Since I couldn't go to school, I ended up just ditching school and hanging around my grandmother's house. So I ended up walking around the block and on Van Nuys and Glen Oaks. Yeah. And go through this little, it was an Arco gas station on the corner of Van Nuys and Glen Oaks. And it was a sweatsuit shop that did custom sweatsuits. And I looked in, I saw the turntables in the back and the custom sweatsuits. So I sat there. And I had I had my records too. I had a crate of little small crate of records too. Yeah. And I sat there until the owner got there. And when the owner got there, it was Scotty D. His name is Robert Scott Spencer. He's from Compton. Yeah. He owned the shop on Van Nuys and Glen Oaks. It was called J&D's Sportswear, and they did custom sweatsuits. They make Fila sweatsuits where they could put Fila on your khakis. They could put Fila down there. Or you had some 501s, they could put Fila down the leg, down the arm and leg, all that. And that was what was going on back then. Yeah. So when he got there, I told him, it's funny. I told him that I was a young DJ, you know, and I knew Bob. I'm down with Uncle Jam's Army. I'm down because I had just met Bobcat. Yeah. Like the weekend before at a skating ring, you know what I'm saying, or some shit like that. Yeah. So I told him I was down with Bobcat and Uncle Jam's Army, not knowing that he's already down with Roger Clayton and Uncle Jam's Army, and he knows Bobcat and Wildcat and Egyptian Lover and everybody, you know what I'm saying? But he laughed. You know, I'm a young kid, like 15, 16 years old, but I get on the turntables and mesmerizing. You know what I'm saying? So he's all right, you can hang out, you know, lightweight, run away. I'm sleeping in this shop, waking up, putting on new T-shirts, and all kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? So it was cool for a minute. You know, DJ Pooh was there too. Yeah. So Bobcat, it was a lot of DJs around, and what it was too many that I had to compete with. But I also used to jump on the mic and MC. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I was fascinated by movies like Wild Style and Breakin' and Beat Street and things like that. Yeah. So I used to spit they rhymes, especially like, what's his name? Prince, I can't think of his name right now, but I used to say a couple of their rhymes. And they used to like the way I rhyme. So DJ Pooh named me King T. Okay. And that's how it all began, right there. Scotty D introduced us to DJ Unknown, the same producer that had Ice-T on Techno Hop, that was doing Dog in the Wax, 6 in the Morning, all that. I came right after Ice. Compton's Most Wanted came right after me. Okay. You know what I'm saying? With DJ Slip. Yeah. And I can't remember the rest of their names, but Compton was one of them. Yeah.
So you get on, and then what's after that?
Well, yeah. After, look, we did like 2 joints. We did like 2 singles with DJ Unknown and Techno Hop. Payback Some Other. That was my first single. The thing about that was, when we did that, Pooh and Bobcat was out in New York working with LL Cool J on the I'm Bad album.
Okay.
So that's how that got put on, because they took that single out there, and Red Alert and Marley Marls was the first one to play that in New York. The first West Coast really joint they really played in New York.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So after that, the LA Posse, Breeze, everybody, you know what I'm saying? That's where everybody else came on, you know.
Do you consider yourself like one of the originators of like gangster rap, West Coast hip hop?
Not at all.
Like, I don't want to say gangster rap, but okay, let me rephrase the question. Do you consider yourself as one of the West Coast pioneers in hip hop?
Yes. I mean, I was, after Ice-T, it was me. I mean, of course, there was Too Short, but I was the first, and then there was Rodney O, there, and who else? Candyman. I mean, I'm talking about like from the Compton era, Toddy T.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I knew back then. NWA. Yeah. And we all worked with NWA, you know what I'm saying?
What was there like, because there were so many people starting to come out at that time, you know, you had Quick and a lot of people. Was there any, like, I don't want to say jealousy between Compton rappers, was like you from Compton, we go show you love, or there was people hating?
If you said, you know, if you were genuinely yelling Compton, you got love. We all loved each other. You know what I'm saying? It was a guy named Mixmaster Spade that kept everything together, that really started everything, that made it to where I could say I was from Compton, because I did a song with him called "You Better Bring a Gun." You know what I'm saying? And he told, you're officially from Compton. You know what I'm saying? Toddy T too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's why I've been yelling Compton since then. I wasn't born and raised, you know what I'm saying? But they made it to where I could say I'm from Compton.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you hung around with a lot of folks from like the Nutty Block area.
Yeah, that's where I live.
Yeah, Nutty.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know like Gangsta Drayster back then?
Yeah,
like,
VG Knockout. All of them. They was babies though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not Drayster, but Knockout was a little kid, you know what I'm saying? Drayster, he wasn't thinking about rapping, he was being a gangster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was after, you know, the Dog Pound situation, they was coming into their gang, you know, they rapping thing, and it was smooth. I was already, you know, I was trying to start the Alcoholics and trying to form the Liquid Crew and things like that, bringing out Exhibit and Rico, Catastrophe, and all that, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was working on. I was trying to party. I wasn't trying to gangbang. And that's why I always say that I wasn't really trying to have nothing to do with the gangster aspect. That was too easy. Yeah. Easy had that. Yeah. Ice Cube, come on, he was the best at it, you know what I'm saying? So, nah, we partying, you know, we liquid, you know what I'm saying? We gonna go get the best MCs that could rock a party. We wanna see titties, we wanna throw beer on motherfuckers and, you know what I'm saying, and have a party, you know? That's what it was all about.
When you got your first record deal, tell me about the first thing you bought. But before you tell me the first thing you bought, tell me about this this car Ice-T bought you.
AJ had, we used to call him AJ. No, I'm lying. We used to call him Lil Ant. because his name was Lil Ant from Palmer Block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he had a Cadillac on gold D's, gold Daytons. You could see it in the Act a Fool video.
Yeah.
So we bought. Ice-T bought me that car.
He just bought it for you.
Just bought it before I even signed it. Ice-T used to manage me.
Yeah.
Rhyme Syndicate, the whole thing. You know, I was part of that, all that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then Anthony Johnson, you bought it from.
That was one of my best friends. We used to go to. Ice-T had this club called Water the Bush.
Yeah.
That we always used to go to on Tuesdays, and after we'd be bagging on each other in the front of the club, and all the people used to love it, and that's how he got into what he does, being a comedian. So,
and Anthony Johnson's the
he
guy.
He was a gangster from Compton, though.
Wow, and he's a comedian that was on Friday and a bunch of other movies.
Yeah,
I think
with
the Players
Master
Club.
P. All
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know.
He's a real one.
He's a real one. I didn't know that. They better watch out, man. Next time he telling some jokes, it might be serious.
Oh, and he'll bag on you. That's what we used to do. That's where bagging on moms come from, on Act a Fool, all that. We'd talk about your mom like a motherfucker.
Wow. So Ice-T brought you this.
Yeah,
this
he
car.
bought it for me, and the police took it about a week later, and it was an impound and all that. But I was about 16, 17 years old.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have a license, and you was
I
driving.
didn't have a license till I was 25 years old.
Okay.
But I lived in Ice moved me into this building in Hollywood on Franklin, right next to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going on tour with him and Darlene, and, you know, he's grooming me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. And we had fun. We had a lot of fun. He took me over, the first person to take me overseas, everything. I've been everywhere with Ice-T.
Wow. And so what did you buy? What did you buy with your first check?
I bought a lot of clothes, and then I was messing with a girl then that stole all the clothes that I bought. No, but we went to I didn't really know what to do with all, because we got a lot of money, me and Pooh, and I split it with Pooh. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, because that we was working on the Act a Fool album together, so we went to New York to do it. We recorded a lot of Act a Fool at Chungking in New York. Okay. Yeah, because that's what we was messing with. LL, Run DMC, a lot of Def Jam, and I spent it frivolously. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Bought cars, I didn't buy no property or nothing like that, but.
And is there people around you?
But I kept getting it.
Is it, I think there needs to be somebody, like when you go into the NFL or the NBA.
There is.
Yeah.
And there was people there. It was people there. It was lawyers there. It was accountants there telling you, don't spend all your money, put this money up.
Yeah, you got to pay taxes.
You got to pay taxes, put this money up. You ain't really got this money. But you telling this to a 18-year-old kid. Yeah. 17-year-old kid that ain't never had no money in his life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I bought my mother a car. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to buy her home or things like that, but that came about the third album when I created the Alcoholics. Yeah. And they came with this budget and things like that. You know what I'm saying? That's when I started really paying attention to money.
So let's talk about that. So your first record deal, you were with Capitol?
Yes.
You were with Capitol, and then right after that,
I was with Capitol for I think I did about 3 albums or 4 albums with Capitol. 3 albums with Capitol. After that, we were me and DJ Broadway from just a guy I met. He was a dope producer. He was from this crew called 360. We created a production deal, a label deal. My first label deal that I got so fucked over and all that, you know what I'm saying? we created that for MCA, and that's where with Exhibit came.
Yeah.
And it was a big mess with that, but it all came back together and all that. But
So it was like you kind of learning the business, and
you gotta pay dues, man.
Yeah, you
gotta
learn
pay dues.
You learn the hard way sometimes. Like
you lose.
Yeah. And then so tell me about. So did you go to Ruthless next, or did you go to Aftermath?
No. After MCA, with that album King T for Life.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre was leaving Death Row. He was creating a new situation. He had no name. He didn't have nothing, and he called me. Bobcat actually was down with him, and they all called me and was like, yo, we want you to be down with this situation. Oh, man, it was a dream come true. Because me and Dre had always been tight. It's a Compton thing, you know what I'm saying? Like that, really. Yeah. When NWA was torn, we were always the opening act. King T or Rodney O or something, we were always with them.
Oh, okay.
We were always open. We used to tear hotels up, so it was, And I used to go through, when I was working on with Capitol and things like that, and they were working on the Chronic album, I used to go up to Solar and hear the little shit they was doing on the Chronic and shit like that. And everything was cool. That shit was dope. So when he got away from that, wanted to start his own situation, it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect, and we got in there and hammered it out. Just some personal things, arose, and, we're still good friends to this day. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, did you ever see anything crazy when you stopped by over in Death Row, when you stopped by and see what they were working on?
Because DJ Pooh was producing Snoop Dogg, Dog Pound. Yeah, I used to go through there all the time. Yeah, saw a lot of crazy shit.
Tell me the craziest thing you saw over there. You don't have to say no names.
Well, I didn't see nothing too crazy, but I've seen a motherfucker get slapped up. You know what I'm saying? With Tupac, you know what I'm saying? When Tupac came around, it was just that type of energy, you know what I'm saying? If you said something wrong, or it's a party situation going on and you trying to create some negative energy, you get slapped up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all it was.
And then, so after Aftermath, is that when you went over to Ruthless?
Yeah, we worked out a situation with Tamika.
Yeah.
Dre and Tamika worked out something because, you know what I'm saying, I didn't want to get held. There's this legend about Dr. Dre that you can get shelved. Like, he did the same thing with Rakim and Busta, and I'm not the only one, you know what I'm saying? But I want to take my shit and move on. And him and Tamika was trying to come to peace with certain things, dealing with Eazy-E and things like that.
Yeah.
So we were trying to work the deal out to where maybe she could put out my shit and go make some new shit. And the manager I had back in the day, they ended up getting into a cat fight or some shit like that, and the shit just didn't work out. But Tamika, she looked out, you know what I'm saying? She shot a motherfucker $100,000 up front, like cash, like, here, let me have it.
Oh, wow.
I love you, boo. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Wow. And speaking of that, like, was you close to Eazy?
Yeah, that was my dog. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they used to hang out in the Kelly Park area. I was in, like you said, the Nutty Block area. And we always used to run into each other. We was messing with the same girls and doing our thing and shit like that, you know? So it was love. Yeah. It was nothing but love.
What'd you think of the movie that came out, the NWA Straight Outta Compton? Do you think it depicted, like, some of your memories of, like, On the Road and E?
Yeah. You know, it's Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's going to be a lot added to it and a lot of taken from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To make certain people look good and make certain people look bad. So I know how Hollywood is, but most of it was good. I know a lot of the Skateland shit that they were talking about in the movie, we were there. You know what I'm saying? We, like I said, we opened for Easy everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Especially Skateland.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially Skateland.
There's a lot of memories there, man.
Yeah, you can see it on the posters and everywhere. You know.
So you left Aftermath, went to Ruthless, trying to make that work. Did you ever look back and see at Aftermath when they signed? Was it Eminem, and that's when they really started popping?
Eminem was signed when I was working on my first single, the video, and there I was doing my video, and Dre signed Eminem. He came to the video shoot to show me what he was working on with Eminem and all that. So you know, I mean, what could I say about that? You know what I'm saying? What decision would you make?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Eminem was a great, is a great artist, you know what I'm saying? It's a very dominant MC, you know what I'm saying? I can't fuck with him on the mic, you know what I'm saying? I know when to bow down, you know. But that was part of me, you know what I'm saying? Okay, let me, you know, can I take this somewhere and where I ain't got to compete with that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how Dre is. He, you know, I know how Dre is, you know. And it was all love, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to do. Dre was like, I don't want you to leave.
Yeah.
But if you want, you know what I'm saying? And it was probably one of the worst mistakes I ever made in my career.
It's like buying the house at the top of the market and then trying to sell it at the bottom sometimes.
Bad mistake.
But you learn, you know, it's like, that's life, you know, it's like you run into, like I was talking to my son the other day about just certain situations in my life where I've made mistakes that probably financially cost me, but that made me better in the long run financially.
You'll know later. You won't make that same mistake, hopefully.
No. Back to the Straight Outta Compton movie, we kind of like pissed or upset there wasn't a King T cameo? Because I know I was.
Nah, not at all. It was about it was a story about NWA and Eazy. You know what I'm saying? And I understood that. Yeah, in the beginning, yeah, you're gonna have them feelings, but you grow to understand it was about them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about who the fuck they were friends with. Yeah. Because I didn't see nobody they were, on the side who they were friends with, you know what I'm saying?
But it's such a big correlation, I think, with just West Coast hip hop and the people that are around them. I mean, there's some big names that were around NWA.
Yeah. A lot of them,
Yeah, maybe they need
what happened to JJ Fad, dog?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, maybe they'll make a movie one day about
it'll all come out.
The Compton, hip hop artists and how it all kind of correlated and tied together.
Maybe they'll make a movie about Skateland, period.
Yeah. Yep, you're right there.
And World on Wheels,
So I read, and I don't know if this is true, so maybe you can verify this, that you had gotten a fight with Tupac.
Yeah.
So tell us about the fight with Tupac.
It was a drunken mishap night, you know what I'm saying? Wow. That's a good clip. Wow.
People want to hear about this.
I mean, it was stupid. We were at Glam Slam. I think Prince owned the club downtown at that time, and he called it Glam Slam. And we're just up in there, and I'm tipsy. This is when I'm at my tipsiest. Yeah. And I think I rubbed him the wrong way, but we conversated and ended up outside to where I'm still approaching him about a certain thing, about a rag or something he was wearing or something like that. I don't want to go too much into it.
Yeah.
So I was blindsided from I don't know where, and I woke up, and that was the end of it. I know Pac didn't hit me, and we talked later, and even the day after and things like that, it was people reaching out and all that because it was just a misunderstanding, and King T was drunk again. That's all it was.
But I mean, that's a
I think we met up at the first Source Awards.
Okay.
And we ran through New York that night just having fun. And like we didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm wrong. When he got out of jail, when he got out and was signed to Death Row, I went up there to Can-Am Studios to see him just out of the blue, and he was even taking pictures for that album cover. He had the same thing on, the vest, and all that. Yeah, it was just love, man. It was just a, misunderstanding. That's all.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah,
that's a cool story. I mean,
the best of friends. But me and Pac used to run through. We were the best of friends. We run through everything together, especially New York.
Yeah.
Met Biggie together, all that. We were all friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and that's what happens sometimes. You you get a fight with somebody and you become best of friends, or you are friends.
It's nothing, man. It was nothing.
So let me ask you this: what's your thoughts on hip hop today?
My thoughts on hip hop. I'm thankful for it. Really, I'm glad. I'm happy for it. I'm loving the state it's in, and that could mean a lot of things, because it's still going. It's still making us a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's still alive. When we were at the beginning of this, people were saying the same thing that they're saying now about these young cats. They were saying the same thing about us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, that shit ain't gonna last. That shit is bullshit. That shit is noise.
Yeah.
They're saying the same thing about these young kids that's trying to do their thing. Everything changes.
Yeah.
It ain't supposed to sound the same. If you love what you loved about hip hop, stay in that lane.
Yeah.
And help. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your town and they're performing, go see that and support that. Yeah. But you don't sit around and hate on these kids coming out trying to support their family and
I agree.
Doing the same thing we were doing. I
agree.
Run DMC, LL Cool J, didn't nobody want to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's your most memorable?
The bitches.
Your most memorable time.
I got into
this
to meet bitches. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's different now. You know what I'm saying? My kids want to rap, and my mother loves rap now, and all in hip hop and shit like that.
Well, you're a legend.
Yeah, but I got into it because I was a scrawny, skinny ass motherfucker, gang banging, just trying to meet a nice little lady and nice little thick young bitch, That's all it was, man.
Well, man, it's working out though, right?
Oh man, I'm done with it. Yeah. It's caused nothing but a headache.
Oh, man.
I got about 7, 8 kids now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you.
It's all love. I love hip hop, man, and where would we be without it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where would we be?
Let me ask you this, in the recent couple of days, hip hop, especially a West Coast hip hop pioneer, it's been in the news. He passed away. He got murdered. Nipsey Hussle. What's your opinion that whole situation?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. He's definitely a prolific guy in our movement out here on the West Coast. So.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Yeah.
You know what it is. You know, it's typical. You know, I don't want to address that.
All right. And so what's King T got? What you got working in the?
We got a few things going on, man. You know, the liquid.net, you know, liquid radio. We're venturing off into the cannabis line, you know, with the liquid brand. You know, everything liquid flower, liquid vape, liquid edibles, liquid eats. You'll be able to eat anything liquid, you know what I'm saying? Even a liquid brew that's non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
With THC up in it, you'll be whatever.
Wow. Wow.
We're just going to hit them from every angle and see what, you know, everything liquid.
Yeah.
That's all.
So you work on that. We got liquid radio, working on the cannabis line. Anything else? Any artists you got coming out? You got anything coming out anytime soon?
We'll see. We'll see. You know, we'll see. Nice. I stopped talking about things because they never happened. I'm gonna just
let them happen.
Yeah, put it out there, and then. You know, we'll do an interview about it when it's out there.
Yeah.
All right.
And let me ask you this. Is there anything you want your fans to know about you? Anything about King T?
I've pretty much revealed myself to on every angle.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about really, you know, we got into this shit to party.
Yeah.
Not on no gangster shit. We got into this shit to be hip hop and put the dopest MCs on, make the dopest music, and it's about the music. It's not about, you know what I'm saying, the labels and things like that they put on this shit. You know what I'm saying? We just want to make the dopest music. And I think that's what we've been trying to do ever since the Alcoholics exhibit, the Far Ride, Montage One, anybody that's been down with the crew.
Yeah.
We pretty much been on.
Any advice you want to give to the youngsters out there that are trying to come up in the game?
Yeah, don't fall into the matrix. You know, don't stay off drugs, you know, and just take a shot of this tequila while I got me on, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is. I'm out this piece. Yo, what's up? This is King T and you're watching Urban City TV. Peace out.